Hi, good evening all. I'm making this video to teach you how to identify pivot points. Pivot point is very important because there are only two kinds of pivot points. One is the top and one is bottom. The bottom pivot point and the top pivot point is how you have to recognize. It's nothing but a three candle setup. It's nothing but a three candle setup. Don't go by the color of the candle. Please understand the concept. I'll make it as universal color. We have one candle here like this. Okay, so this is the high, this is the low. Okay, now we have another candle to its right. This is the high and this is the low. Then we have another candle to its left. This is the high, this is the low. So this is my middle candle, this is my M candle, and to my left I have another candle which is called as candle number 1. To my right I have another candle which is called as candle number 2. Now if you compare the high of this middle candle to the high of candle number 1, don't you see that candle number 1 high is lower than middle candle? If you compare both these candles, the high towards the left candle is lesser when compared to the middle candle. Similarly, when you compare the high of candle number 2 to the middle candle, the high is lesser than middle candle. So this is called, this middle candle high is called as pivot top. This is called as pivot top. And how do you make the zone? I'll just show you. See, this is one candle. This is one more candle to its left. This is one more candle towards its right. Okay, let us number this as candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. First we mark the candle number 2 high with a horizontal line. Okay, now for candle number 1 and 3, if it's a pivot top, you have to mark the lows. The low of candle number 1, supposingly it's here, you mark one horizontal line. Candle number 3, you have to mark one horizontal line. So this particular region becomes a zone. This particular region becomes a zone. So you please understand this pivot top. Pivot bottom is nothing but reverse. Pivot bottom is nothing but reverse of pivot top. Now we have a candle here. We have a candle towards its left. Sorry. We have a candle towards its left. We have a candle towards its right. Now this is my middle candle. This is my first candle. This is my second candle. For pivot top, you compare only the highs, and for pivot bottoms, you compare only the lows. Okay. So if you compare the low of first candle to my middle candle, candle number 1 low is higher than middle candle. And if you compare candle number 2 low to the middle candle, candle number 2 low is greater than the middle candle. So this particular middle candle low becomes my pivot bottom. Pivot bottom. You mark a horizontal line here, then you mark the horizontal to the highs of these two candles. So this top portion becomes a zone. This top portion becomes a zone. So in an easy way, this is a candlestick chart. In line chart, it looks something like this. This is my pivot top. Okay, now it comes down like this. This is my pivot bottom. Okay, I'll show you how it is done on a candlestick also. You will come to know. And you have to just understand, if you connect all the three highs on a pivot top, it should look like an inverted V. If you connect all the lows of a pivot bottom, then it should look like a V. Okay, this is inverted V for pivot top. This is regular V for pivot bottom. So let us join and show you in a real chart. Okay, I'll go to the real chart. I've just taken one chart as an example. If you see here, this is my middle candle, this is my candle number 1, this is my candle number 2. Okay, the high of candle number 1 is lower than middle candle high. The high of candle number 2 is lower than middle candle high. So when you connect the highs of 1 and middle candle and 1, it looks like something like this V. So that is a pivot top. So now coming to pivot bottom, if you see, go to the same chart, you see here beneath, okay, so this is my middle candle. The left side candle low is greater than middle candle, the right side candle low is greater than the middle candle. If you connect the lows from the first candle to the middle candle and from the middle candle to the second candle low, it will look like V. So this is pivot bottom, pivot top. You have to start recognizing such patterns. So I will connect this particular video of how to take a trade with this particular setup. So we'll go to Nifty. We'll remove all these lines. We don't require any lines here now. You do this on the intraday only. For Nifty, when you are using this, take a 30 minutes time frame. 30 minutes time frame only. Don't use it on a 15 minutes time frame. First, you need to wait for the first 2 candles on a 30 minutes time frame to finish. The first 2, 1 and 2. Allow the candles to finish. Then mark the highest high of 2 candles. Mark the lowest low of 2 candles. Mark the highest close of 2 candles. Mark the lowest close of 2 candles. So this becomes a zone. This area completely becomes a zone. Now above this zone or below this zone, you should look for a pivot top or pivot bottom. Pivot top or pivot bottom. The moment you find a pivot top, just by the moment this pivot top crosses with the lowest low of these 3 candles as your stop loss. Similarly, below the zone you require a pivot bottom. Pivot bottom. You short the moment the low of the pivot middle candle breaks with the highest high as your stop loss. This should happen outside or inside the zone. It should not happen inside the zone. It should happen outside or inside the zone. What is my outside, inside? The highest high I marked, the lowest low I marked, the highest close I marked, the lowest close I marked. This is my zone. I don't want pivot inside the zone. I want outside the zone pivot top or below the zone pivot bottom. If you see here clearly, we had a pivot bottom, but it did not break. If I draw a line here, this was my pivot bottom. Okay, this is my middle candle. This is my left candle where the low is higher than the middle candle. This is my right candle where the low is higher than the middle candle. So the moment this low breaks, we had to short. But Nifty today did not break, and this would have been my stop loss. This highest high of these 3 candles of the pivot setup is my stop loss. So this did not happen. So what I can do is, you have something called scanner on Market Pulse. Go to Market Pulse scanner. In that you have something called intraday buying seen in last 15 minutes. Just save and run. So whichever stock, today I found one stock, but I don't know which stock was that. I just wanted to show you. I don't know whether I saved that stock to show you guys. Yeah, JK Lakshmi. I think so, it's the same stock. One sec. Let me convert it into 30 minutes. Yeah. See, first 2 candles is here. This is my 9:15 a.m. candle. Okay. I'll just mark first with a pencil so that later I can explain. The first two candles on a 30 minutes time frame. We mark the highest high, lowest low, highest close, and the lowest close of those two candles, not any other candles. Of only those two candles we do this. So we'll take a horizontal line, we'll mark the highest high, we'll mark the lowest low, we'll mark the highest close, and the lowest close is almost same, so it's not required, it's almost same. Now JK Lakshmi has formed this. Now where do you see a pivot? The pivot has just formed here, pivot top. See, it's outside the zone. The middle candle is outside the zone. To my left I have a lower high, to my right I have another lower high. So you have to buy the moment this high crosses with this lowest low as your stop loss of these three candles, and see how it zoomed up. Okay, so you use it on a intraday basis. You need a lot of patience to buy and hold. So for example, we can check some other stock. We can check Tata Motors also. We'll remove all these things. What did Tata Motors do? First two candles. Yes, this long doji candle is my first candle. I'll mark the high, I'll mark the lowest low of the two candles is the same candle. I'll mark the highest high of the two candles. I'll mark the lowest close of the two candles. Highest high, lowest low of the two candles, highest close and lowest close of the two candles. Once we have marked, we wait for a pivot. We'll wait for a pivot. If you see, there is a pivot top. You have to buy the moment this pivot top crosses with the low as your stop loss. It has crossed today, but it did not move up today. It did not move up. So you are still in the trade. This can be a BTST trade for Friday. So Friday, what will happen? What is your stop loss for Tata Motors? Your entry has happened at 965, say 966. Your stop loss is the lowest low of the three candles. The lowest low is 956.5. You can round it off to 955. So right now the price is 964. So your entry is at around 965. Your stop loss is at around 954, almost 10 points. Your target should also be 10 points. We look for 1:1. Don't look for 1:2 for intraday. So 975 should be your ideal target. So if you can follow this and take the trade, then you take it. I'll give you a small hint, guys. Okay, I prefer you should not take risk more than 1% in a trade. I prefer. See, supposedly the entry is at 965 and your stop loss is at around 954. Your risk is more than 1% in this trade, right? You try to look for a trade where your risk is less than 0.70. When your risk is 0.70, your reward also will be 0.70. The lower the risk, the lower the return. The higher the risk, the higher the return. But what happens, supposedly it doesn't go up, then you lose more. So on a safety side, look for a small margin where the 0.70 or 0.80%. If it is within 1% range, then it's a good bet to take on. I hope you have understood this topic. It's a very simple topic, a very effective topic, and I'm doing this video just for educational purpose. Okay, so I might be wrong also. I don't mind learning from people who are having true knowledge about pivot levels. This is my understanding, and you can use it and trade accordingly. Thank you. Stay blessed, and please subscribe and share my YouTube channel so that it can reach more and more people, and more and more people get the knowledge about the same. Thank you.